this video, we're going to be talking about what skills you need to learn to build your own website.
But first, I want to thank everyone who's subscribed to my channel. We just hit a milestone of 100 subscribers, so thank you for all of you. If you are new to my channel, please subscribe and get more videos.
I've had friends on Facebook or on other social media sites post that they wanted to learn more about web development. Normally that means picking a framework like React. Unfortunately, that's really a complicated, deep end of the pool to start with. What you really want to do is start with HTML. That's going to be the structure of your page, and that's the skeleton for all of your content coming up. Once you've got a good grasp of HTML, you can start using CSS to actually change the way your page looks.
This website's a great example of HTML and CSS. This is the CSS Zen Garden. And if you look here, this page is just one HTML file and one CSS file. So the HTML file has all this content of the title, this paragraph here and this paragraph here. There's some other stuff and some links. But if you click like over here, you go to a different CSS page with some animations. It's really changed the style up, and all that's really changed is the CSS. If you go back and you go to the next one that I'm going to show you here on Steel, you can see that there's animations flowing. There's CSS styles that are allowing these to look like a billboard. If I use the mouse, the CSS will move things around here. All that animation really comes to you from CSS. You don't need JavaScript to do stuff like this. I'll have the links for this CSS Zen Garden down in the description of my video.
Once your page becomes complex enough, you're ready to move on to JavaScript. The problem with JavaScript is that it's already super complex. There's a lot you need to learn. There's a lot going on. And frameworks can give you a lot of other things you need to learn too. If you've learned the basics you need it through HTML and CSS, then switching and using frameworks to help build out features will be a lot more straightforward. If something is simple enough that you can do in HTML and CSS, do it there first. Frameworks will almost always make it more complicated until you start building a bigger site that you need reusable components.
So back at our trifolders of web development, you can see JavaScript's taken the final spot. That could also be WebAssembly. Those are the only two languages the browser really understands. But I also included frameworks there. Almost all frameworks out there either push back to JavaScript or WebAssembly, good CSS, and just a little bit of JavaScript. One great website to go learn these things is Don't Fear the Internet. I already know you like watching videos to learn things. If we scroll down here to where they start, they have everything from how the browser works up to web typography, and even some really advanced layout stuff. That's good information even if you're pretty advanced. Here's one example of their classes. It's just a video, but you can see here they're explaining HTML as hamburger text markup language, and they're going through and showing how everything works, like taking lunch, a hamburger, and then order list of ingredients to show how that works. So you can go check out this video, and it's not very long. This is paused at 2 minutes and 4 seconds. So a lot of these videos are short, 5-minute things, but they can really walk you through the basics and get you a good understanding of those HTML and CSS things. Here's one more example where they're showing a video of all these layouts. They're showing how you can do floats and things like that, but they use the colors on the screen to good effect so you can see what's going on. So if you want to check this out, go ahead and check the link in the description below. The last resource I want to show you today is Interneting is Hard. So if you don't want to watch videos, or if you want to do something where you can't really hear at the time, this is one of the best tutorials on the internet, free or paid, and luckily it's free. If I scroll down here, you can see there's 14 chapters, and it's going to cover basically everything you need to know about HTML and CSS to really get a good foundation for web development. The other great thing is that the images are really crisp. You've got lots of detail here, and they show all that detail in a way that's pretty easy to understand. They're also teaching you the modern techniques like Flexbox, responsive design, responsive images, semantic HTML, and even here you can see in this animated GIF, they've got a pretty decent layout that you can set up, and if you just go through the tutorial within like 5 minutes, you can have the same thing built and kind of use it to make your own website. These tutorials really do lead you through things that are actually useful. If you go through and scroll through these videos, you'll get the HTML so you can put it in the browser. They give you the CSS styles so that you can copy and paste those and build your actual website. They show you the file structure that you need. So these are really good hands-on lessons. If you just walk through these, I guarantee you'll have a good grasp of HTML and CSS by the time you're done. And if you scroll all the way down to the bottom here, they really make sure that you learn all of the properties in there, and there's really not too much that you can't take to other lessons afterward. Even though they're showing you all these complicated things, they're also showing you why these would be important when you actually go build a website. So there's a lot of text here, but it's one of the best tutorials that you can actually find on the internet.
If you made it to the end of the video, please like the video if you got value. Also remember, it's dangerous to go alone. So make sure you know your HTML and CSS before you dive deep into JavaScript and those extra frameworks.